A Republican staffer just blew the whistle on Trump's dementia, and it's time to take heed. This is a shocking revelation, and one that might explain Trump's recent policy flailings. I'm David Reddish. Welcome to Occupy Democrats. Chances are, if you watch our channel, subscribe if you haven't, you know that we, along with many others, have raised questions about Donald Trump's cognitive abilities over the past year. Trump often cites figures and facts that are entirely invented, or more recently, conspiracy theories that are patently impossible, such as claiming that Obama created the Epstein files as a hoax, when in fact they were compiled while Trump was president. He ought to know that, right? Here's another example from just a couple weeks ago.
My uncle was at MIT, one of the great professors, 51 years, whatever. He was the longest-serving professor in the history of MIT, 3 degrees in nuclear, chemical, and math. Kaczynski was one of his students. Do you know who Kaczynski was? There's very little difference between a madman and a genius. But Kaczynski, I said, what kind of a student was he, Uncle John, Dr. John Trump? He said, what kind of a student? And then he said, seriously good. He said he'd go around correcting everybody, but it didn't work out too well for him.
He's saying this at the Pennsylvania Energy and Innovation Summit. CNN's Daniel Dale is here to fact check this story. Daniel, fact or fiction?
It's fiction. This story is imaginary, it's made up, it's a lie. And frankly, Sarah, didn't take too much research to figure that out. So how do we know this story could not even possibly be true? Well, first of all, the president's late uncle, the esteemed MIT professor John Trump, died in 1985. The Unabomber was not revealed to be Ted Kaczynski until 1996, the year he was arrested, more than a decade later. So there is frankly no reason why Donald Trump would be asking anyone about Ted Kaczynski in 1985 or earlier, when Ted Kaczynski was living this reclusive life in a Montana wilderness cabin. Number two, that's the case even if Kaczynski had been one of his uncle's students, which he wasn't. John Trump taught at MIT for decades. Kaczynski went to Harvard and the University of Michigan. I reached out to MIT about this. They said they have no record, no information suggesting that Kaczynski ever attended MIT.
Lord, was that just 2 weeks ago? It feels like an eternity. And before you dismiss this Unabomber stupidity as just another one of Trump's exaggerations, stay tuned. There's more going on here. Of course, recent weeks have also seen the White House make revelations regarding President Taco's poor health. They claim he has venous insufficiency, but evidence points to more serious conditions like kidney problems or congestive heart failure. Again, see our other videos for more on that. Heck, during a news conference yesterday, this happened.
Can I ask you about lighter, Mr. President?
What the heck is going on with this guy? Was that a muscle spasm, or did he have a stroke? Or is all of this, the veins, the tripping, the imagined stories, a sign of something much more dangerous and sinister? Today, one Republican raised his concerns about what it all means, and his supposition does not bode well for Trump, or for the rest of us either. Writing for The Hill, Chris Chaw, a former campaign ad to John McCain, penned a lengthy essay accusing Donald Trump of having dementia. Specifically, Chaw cites the recent Unabomber debacle as evidence to support this claim, as well as several other instances, including the claims that Obama cooked the Epstein files or Trump's frequent citing of imagined statistics. Chaw describes these statements as confabulation, that is, remembering false information. That's different from lying or from misremembering something. Confabulation happens when people believe a false memory just as much as a real one. And confabulation would go a long way toward explaining Trump's recent claims that are totally cockamamie. Confabulation is also one of the most telltale signs of the onset of dementia, especially in older adults. Chaw also makes the point that for all the hand-wringing over Joe Biden's mental capacity, he had an independent cabinet that could function without him if it needed to. Trump has the opposite. He hired people like Pam Bondi or Pete Hegseth because they are totally deferential to his whims. No matter what, they'll do what he says, no matter how crazy his orders. Which means the United States is currently in a very dangerous position. Imagine for a moment that you saw this kind of behavior in a parent or a grandparent. How would you react to that? It's time for politicians in Washington, Democrat and Republican alike, and for Trump's cabinet to take action. Have him take an unbiased cognitive test and remove him if need be. Our republic depends on it. This is Occupy Democrats.